Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with my daily theology lesson. It's my lesson that I do. I record it and release it because maybe somebody out there can get something out of it. It's something that I do for myself every day because I want to be a better person, a better principled person. So I read out of something out of three major religious texts: the Bible, the Quran, and an introductory Buddhist text called The Shape of Suffering. I try to hit each text at least twice a week, and so I rotate them. So we're back on The Shape of Suffering, and so I'm only going to read a little bit out of it because there's so much information. I'm not a theologian, so I'm not going to debate anybody. If anybody has anything they want to add, any comments to give me a better understanding of what they believe the lesson is, please feel free to leave your comments. But I'm not here to debate. I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn. You know, choose God this day. The bad guys, they sin. The good guys, we sin. We all sin. It's whom you serve, you know. You don't have to be perfect. No one is perfect. No one. No one. Come to God as you are, you know. Find your hope. Find your love. Find your joy. Find your peace. Find it. Love yourself first. If you love yourself first, if nobody else loves you, you'll be okay. If you don't have anything, if you have yourself, you have everything. You can always build. You can always rebuild. Now, The Shape of Suffering, it discusses this particular book. So far, it's talking about dependent co-arising. And so we've already kind of got over it. But basically, it's about overthinking, you know, and when overthinking can become a bad thing. It's not, overthinking isn't always bad, but a lot of times it can be bad for us when we overthink, because we're thinking about things that haven't happened or whatever, or how we interact with whatever the situation is. We can overthink. That's basic. But you can just kind of look it up for yourself. It's called dependent co-arising. I'm just giving you just a quick summary of what it kind of has to deal with. But it's very complex. Now, from the reminderless fading and cessation of that very ignorance, all of these writings and wrigglings, which is the aging of death. And whose is the aging of death? Or the aging of death are one thing, and this aging and death are someone else's. Or the soul is the same as the body, or the soul is one thing and the body another, are abandoned. Their root destroyed, made like a, excuse me if I don't pronounce the words correctly, palmyra stump, deprived of the conditions of development and destined for future arising. From the reminderless fading and cessation of that very ignorance, all of these writings and wrigglings, excuse me, I'm not saying it right. From the reminderless fading and cessation of that very ignorance of all these writherings and wrigglings and wigglings, which is the birth. So it's three different words: writherings, wrigglings, and wigglings, which is becoming, which is the clinging, which is the craving, which is the feeling, which is the contact, which are the sixth sense media, which is the name and form, which is the conscious, which are the fabrications. And whose are the fabrications? Or fabrications are one thing, and these fabrications are someone else's. Or the soul is the same as the body, or the soul is one thing and the body another, are abandoned. Their root destroyed, made like a palmyra stump, deprived of the conditions of development, not destined for future arising. The ability to remain focused on the process of dependent co-arising also works at cross purposes with an attempt to posit the existence or non-existence, the oneness or plurality of the cosmos as a whole. Then Braham, it's two separate words, and then Braham cosmologist went to the Blessed One and on arrival exchanged courteous greetings with him. After an exchange of friendly greetings and courtesies, he sat to one side. As he was sitting there, he said to the Blessed One, "Now then, Master Gautama, does everything exist? Everything exists is the senior form of cosmology. Brahman." Then Master Gautama, does everything not exist? Everything does not exist is the second form of cosmology. Brahman. Brahman. B-R-A-H-M-A-N. Brahman. Excuse me if I pronounce the words incorrectly. This is everything. Then is everything a oneness. Everything is a oneness. Is the third form of cosmology. Brahman. Then is everything a plurality. Everything is a plurality. Is the fourth form of cosmology. Brahman. Avoiding these two extremes, the Tathagata teaches the Dhamma via the middle. From ignorance as the requisite condition come fabrication. Now I gotta think on this because this is deep. It's deep. You know, but it's separating. It's what, you know, the focus is on the separation of things. Even though they seem similar, they're different. Like the body isn't the soul. The soul isn't the body. That's just an example. But anyway, this is just a study lesson for me. If you have any insight, please leave your comments. I would appreciate it. Because I'm just learning. But it's very interesting. Because we do clump everything together. And they're different. Every word means something different. But when we put them together, it means something, can be something different. Also, so that's just something to think about. I'm going to think about it. Anyway, I want you to smile this day anyway and reach out to one person at a time, one person at a time, one person at a time. Okay?